Mama Cass Elliot did not die from choking on a ham sandwich. And it is time that we put an end to this degrading rumor once and for all. Because before she died, she actually wrote a message to Debbie Reynolds in lipstick and attended Mick Jagger's 31st birthday party. Now, thanks to her daughter's book, My Mama Cass, we finally know the truth about the ending of Cass Elliot's life. The story that haunted her daughter for decades was actually created to protect her mother's reputation. In the summer of 1974, Cass Elliot arrived in London for a series of concerts at the legendary London Palladium. She would do 28 shows from July 15th to July 27th, sometimes doing 2 a day. Now, after her final performance on July 27th, Cass Elliot would actually write a letter to the next star that was performing at the Palladium, which just so happened to be my favorite star of all time, Debbie Reynolds. He wrote a message to Debbie in lipstick saying, "If they're half as nice to you as they were to me, you'll have the time of your life." He then attended Mick Jagger's 31st birthday party, which was one of the hottest tickets in town that night, before returning back to her London flat that she was renting the next afternoon. One of the dancers from her show was actually staying with her at this flat, so when she went to go take a bath, he actually made her some food, and when he looked in the fridge, all he could find was some sliced ham, cheese, some bread, and a Coca-Cola. That's when he decided to make her a sandwich, which he left for her on her side table. That night, she left her door slightly open, got into bed, and started watching TV, and her friend left for the night. And when he returned the next day, the door was still open, the TV was still on, and he could actually hear Cass Elliot snoring. But unfortunately, after it had been 18 hours since she went to bed and she still hadn't woken up, her assistant and manager eventually entered the room, and that's when they realized she had passed away. She was only 32 years old. Now, for years, a very cruel rumor has circulated that Cass Elliot died from choking on a ham sandwich, a story that deeply hurt her daughter and reinforced the harmful fat shaming that Cass Elliot was subject to her entire life. And after reading her book, My Mama Cass, which is one of the greatest books I have ever read, years after her mother passed away, she would find out that this rumor was actually started by her mother's dear friend and journalist, Sue Cameron, who admitted to writing the original story after calling Cass Elliot's manager, Alan Carr, the morning of her passing. Her manager, Alan Carr, was really worried that people would assume scandal because the rock and roll lifestyle had already taken the lives of stars like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix. So when he saw the food next to Cass Elliot's bed, he suggested the story to Sue Cameron to buy time and to protect the family while details were still being confirmed. And unfortunately, a rumor that was supposed to protect her legacy ended up becoming one of the most unfair and untrue myths in Hollywood history. Cass Elliot deserves to be remembered for her beautiful voice and not this rumor.